Alright, what the fuck were we doing? Right, we talked to Idiot Doom Spiral? Yeah, I think that was his name. Yeah, the idiot, the guy that was melting. I remember that. He was melting, yes. Cinder blocks, charred, a makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. I'm guessing we can just sit and pass time here.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench.
Ah, the grind. No time to sit. Sounds of life in the north. A washboard scrubs filth from fabric. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, and a forgotten chair. What do we got? We got some trash. 10 whole cents. Let's go, baby. Oh. Cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. What we got here? Oh, baby, 14 cents. Now we're talking. Oh? Oh, you know it's worth 2 drama, baby. Absolutely. Oh. Oh, fuck. Inland Empire, though. Inland Empire is also a really good stat. But, dude, we're looking so fucking fly. Hobo chic. Oh, one Inland Empire is very tempting. But 2 drama is also pretty good. I also like how drama is always like, yes, sire, please do. You see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. I can't believe some idiot would leave their bow tie behind. What a fucking maroon. God damn. What is this? Someone has left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Oh, fuck. Apparently we have to really, really go around to get here. Someone has broken down the fence and the barbed wire. They broke down the barbed wire. Impressive. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind it. There's desolation everywhere.
Ron, are you good? You okay? My orange cat, stupid fucking idiot, was climbing around on the pipes in the ceiling. He is fine, but he did in fact fall off of the ceiling. What happened here?
In this yard?
Oh, the lieutenant looks at a small building. A flock of grey swallows takes off in the distance.
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
What's a block obscure?
A black bloc. A part of the city left unrenovated after the war. Or one that has fallen to gang violence. Or has become inhospitable in some other way.
So this part of the coast is a block obscure.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
Maybe they left something useful behind.
Yes, for you to scavenge like a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash and errant magnesium blisters.
Fucking relax, Kip. I have $20 to my name right now. I don't know if I have a house. Give me a break.
It's not meant as nagging, just an
Okay,
observation.
I certainly took it as nagging.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland, at least in this phase of the investigation.
Urban exploration is a terrible idea, by the way. Don't know why anybody would do something so psychopathically dangerous. The wind is corralled by the 4-story buildings around the yard. Like, you go explore this abandoned building. What if you get stabbed? Or, like, even more likely, what if you go to a place that's got fucking asbestos in it? Like, Don't do it, man. Birds in the birch tree, barely audible coos from above. Oh, I can well, I'm guessing we're not going to get much out of inspecting this right now.
There's no way to listen to the tape without a working tape player or portal-reel at hand. But even just holding the tape makes you feel a little sad.
Oh, that's not a good sign in Inland Empire.
A pawn shop would have a tape player.
Quite true. Reaction speed shows up for the weirdest checks, dude. Oh, baby. Big money. Glory, says the graffitio, to the ghosts of us. Wait. How much? Oh, fuck yeah. But please. Oh my god. Almost $2. I think actually $2 if we count the bottles. What a time to be alive. We're fucking rolling in money now. Traffic beyond the gate. More abandoned motor lorries. The sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Okay. Message received. There's clearly stuff over there. Oh, hold on. Oh, you almost fucking slipped past. You, in fact, have slipped right past me because I've been here before, but you'll not slip by me twice. Alright. Now, further in. I'm very anxious about the health situation. Having 0 health and no healing is a little stressful. But boy, we're doing great on morale. Morale? We ain't gonna have a morale death anytime soon. Can you die from morale? I assume so, right? So far, we've only died from health. Surely that would also kill you.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
What did the smoke smell like?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt first laid is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
Who are the people who live across the road?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
What about the bus stop?
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
What about the road?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn.
A dead dog?
Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant.
That is enough.
The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
Shivers is so fucking cool, dude. I'm definitely gonna be stealing that the next time I play D&D and be like, I'm an urban ranger, baby. And Shivers is gonna be how I think about it. If I ever actually get to play D&D instead of just being, you know, the forever GM. But that's fine. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear its chirp. Okay. It's really hard to tell where you can actually walk around here. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. Broken pipe. Rust-eaten letters read Muzzet. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these wreaths. Oh, yeah. You should come back here when it snows. A strange feeling. It passes quickly. Gotcha. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You. Despite everything, it's still you. Quick travel unlocked. Church. Oh. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. Full of holes. Could the post hide treasure? Look inside. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Oh my god. They certainly do hide treasure. Oh. Get more morale. Please. Oh my god, $2. Holy shit, let's go. So much money, a treasure trove. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Dusty pews in the shadow. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Oh my god, this has been quite the profitable journey so far. Sign reads Saint Brune, 1147.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wall.
Rattle the doors to see if they open.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
Sorry, it's been a few days. When am I supposed to go see that guy? It was 9, right? Yes, okay.
I don't think that's going to work.
High above, the wind wraps the church in its rush, cold and wet from the ocean bay. It parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel washing both sides, the way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance. So should you.
What is this feeling?
There is a hole in my heart.
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough.
Inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Run your hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
Is that so, conceptualization? What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here. These forces of future have chosen to pick something that reminds you of you.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is junior delinquency?
For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams.
What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
I agree, it's very modern. But does the cheery guy not know he's dead, or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony here?
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Try to peel off the sticker.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker on your ledger, right on the cover.
Voila. Looks very modern. You're part of the future brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby.
Fuck yeah, inspect the staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Should we start with the kick drum coming from the ice? I heard it sound before.
Yes, the pulsing bass. A sure sign of junior delinquency. Somewhere east
Of course, nothing is a surer sign of delinquency than bass.
There's something on the sea ice there.
Did the ledger's stats change? I don't think so. Though admittedly, I don't exactly know what they were before. Alright, all the way around. Okay, kinda figured we had to go around the back. There was actually a way around over here. I guess we can go through here? I would never have guessed you could walk under that. Must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Hello, my friend. Please talk.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks
This
up.
is probably the most immaculate profile picture we've seen yet. Actually, like just very normal, you know?
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Oh. Of course. How foolish of me to have forgotten such basic drug lore. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
She looks up at you, distracted.
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little loud.
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I should, and I do.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you're planning on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. What's your name?
Estelle.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
Why indeed? Forget it.
Okay.
I don't know. What's that device you got there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires.
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
Or what's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. You never fail to turn up. Yeah? Any news on my wife's name? How about my mother?
No,
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thanks, Encyclopedia. You've been a great help. Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer, Contact Mike.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
You know. Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model.
An entire litany
Oh,
starts forth.
On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion. You are. You look at you here in front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to drug addict music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication.
Man, you are one weird cop.
This isn't about me. This is quite the exchange we're having with this person. This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats. And for yourself.
What is it with you and this Mike guy?
She pauses. The question is rhetorical.
Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
No. Oh God. Look at the two bells. It's time once again to return to the 20 things you like to say about Contact Mike. The boxer who is apparently a paragon of open competition. It really doesn't get any better than this. Any better. Both inside and outside the ring. Stop. Point at someone. Someone in the distance. Point your finger at him. He will point his finger back at you. Vaulting an impossible gulf of finance and privilege to... Well, we absolutely have to internalize that one later. Self-respect is not meant to float any boats except your own.
I'll keep that in mind for future use.
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled
That sounds
shithole.
pretty sick.
It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamlock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
Yeah, I kind of clicked on it without really reading the second option too clearly. But did he just say it sounds like a congregation for homosexuals? Or was that an option? All right, I get down.
I don't know what that
I
means.
grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I. But I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold
What
them.
for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
Why do you say it like that? Drama? Oh, whatever. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Wow. Well, that fucking sucks.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is it?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Do you not see the problem with this? Just out of curiosity? Are you like... Do you think this is all fine? It's not. Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
What a utterly unacceptable answer. God damn. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. At your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It is not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
I'm once again reminded of how contact Mike rose from the slums of St. Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious pressure. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude. Is this one too much? Surely the second option is the better one to actually pick. Nothing. If you got this, don't be scared.
Okay, I'll stick to it. So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
Yes, of course. I think it's the plight of the working class.
Oh, really?
The golem of capital runs rampant, smashing creator and slave alike. I fear the process is irreversible.
Wow. Social justice really matters that much to you? That's commendable. It really had you shaken up there. Are you sure that's it, though?
No, that's probably not it, is it?
No. It sounds like you've just got chick issues.
Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First, they had the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit.
Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic.
Yes,
Don't you think?
yes, I found that to be very symbolic too.
Okay. What else?
They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Boy, that second option's really aggressive, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
What do you mean by selective memory?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
You might have a point there. Selective memory. It's almost like several of my inner voices, don't ask, have tried to suppress this thought at every opportunity whenever it comes up. You might have a point.
Yeah. Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is this Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing, then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles as a mean wind comes bellowing in. The 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
you know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Can I start internalizing this? I need to unlock the slot, of course, of course. Wait, does it take 2 skill points to internalize this? I've never looked at that UI too closely before. Alas. The litany of contact Mike will have to wait. Wait, no, I didn't unlock it. There we go. Never mind. Internalize. Thank you. Electronic instruments. What's that? Like what? I couldn't read a damn fucking thing, dude.
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right?
Yes, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
What do you mean? Strange things in the church wouldn't happen to be supernatural, would it? Were there any vibes in there, perhaps? I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock on the church door?
No.
No?
Not really.
What do you mean, not really?
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
Okay, if you personally didn't, then who did?
Yeah, you know. That's what I meant. Noid did. Noid put the padlock on the door.
Is this Noid person a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I see. Very non-committal response there. Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya.
Enough about the church.
Go ahead.
Actually, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
Alright, we've lost our hat, tragically, but it was the right thing to do. So it's time to put the encyclopedia hat back on. Alright. Tent time.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Quite the hairdo. Squeeze him.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike it.
Extremely fair.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Are you implying I'm a delinquent, Kim? There is extremely enough space in here for her. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosafed Ultra.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
You know, when I heard Noid, I was genuinely envisioning, like, a really tall, gangly, bald person. So this being Noid is coming to me as slightly as a surprise. In fact, I would have said, if you had showed me these 3 people, I would have guessed Andre was Noid. You know? Noid just has a vibe. You know what I mean? This guy does not look like a Noid. He looks like an Andre.
An egghead. Egg!
Bro, he's ascending. The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music. He is ascending, dude. He's made it. He's having the time of his life. Good for Egg.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Oh, wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline.
Now, that's not what I asked, Andre.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noit's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Was there something you wanted? Your friend Estelle said there was a problem with the church.
Oh, so you've met her? Good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Okay, Mr. Thesaurus, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it. Okay.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
So, you're not the dope heads and burnouts? This comes as a surprise.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I am, yes. What kind?
The spooky kind.
What do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Are you implying that spookiness can't be a vibe in and of itself, Egg? We have some fundamentally differing opinions on this matter.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
Estelle told me Noid put a padlock on the door. Why?
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
Are you saying you've locked someone in the church?
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
How long have these people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Well, you'd better hope that they are.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Is this not just like murder though? Like, it's definitely a little more than just involuntary manslaughter, isn't it? Andre, what do you mean? Do you know what involuntary manslaughter means?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
What does that mean, Andre? And why does the number keep going down? What does that even mean?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Andre,
Oh, yeah.
he looks at his friend with an expression of profound understanding. Yeah, I catch your drift.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
I get it. I get by. Now, where was I with that padlock?
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart.
I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool, infused move, tossing it in your general direction.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Ask.
The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing there, with a goofy grin on your face.
I didn't really look at him that closely. He is, in fact, wearing ribcage suspenders.
The word august, used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur, like a late summer's day, like a daddy-o, like a tequila sunset.
Damn right, I am Tequila Sunset. Olivia.
Of course you are. It's too late to be a tequila sunrise now. There will be no sunrise. Not
Thank you, Inland Empire.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know.
Who-
Let's do
Who
it.
exactly are the people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't seen them, and yet you want the police involved?
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical.
No doubt.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like
That is
it.
strange and unsettling, Noid.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
What do you mean, think is a woman? There's a few ways to take that. What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
I'm interested. A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crab man?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
Well, I can't exactly argue with you on that matter, I suppose.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building.
That's probably the most insightful thing you've said, Inland Empire. Indeed, there are a lot of implications.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Logic. Be quiet. Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
I can see why there would... I can think of no other possible conclusion. So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
That's one of the most amazing sentences I've ever heard in my life. I will have to remember weaponizing idiocy for the future. Wow, you can't. You can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers.
What is precise number? Can you please elaborate?
Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says technology. Okay, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
You mentioned some kind Who are they?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Humor me, Andre. What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Right. Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for erotic music in one of their churches?
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericarnassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We're done!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore!
Unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
No words. Enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse, you look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Erotic music is no, this is too much. No sane organization would want this level of absurdity in their church.
That's pretty downbeat. I think I speak for all of us when I say we expected the law to be more open to the idea of love, unity, and the Pericarnassian posse.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I guess it is. So, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. His expectation is fierce.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled, too.
Oh.
He doesn't know what to say.
It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Wait, I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid? No.
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now. At least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
Honestly, probably the only useful thing Encyclopedia has said so far. What's with all this Nosifed?
The what now?
Point at the barrel of nasal spray in the corner. The Nosifed Ultra. You have a lot of it laying around.
Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosifed's doing. Without the noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosifed is the shit.
Good, now on to the next thing.
Yes.
Enough of all this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze.
Well,
Fuck.
first of all, you're a smart cop, and a smart cop like you would understand if something wasn't quite right. So this should be easy.
What's the gist of it?
The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well. Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
Okay, I'll be back later.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah.
Right.
The litany of contact Mike. 5,000 to 1 ranked outsider. No one saw it coming. The mantle of a game changer demands intangible qualities. Fights are not won. You're thinking instead of doing detective work right now. Fights are made, blow by blow. Let's take it, Mike to the Mikey. Some low-intensity part of you has entered a sports cliché-driven fugue state, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Also, Mike knew what it took to win. He just wanted it more.
Well, that's not very exciting. Yeah, I was hoping for a little more, but, you know. Guess, you know, it's just how it has to be sometimes. I'm going to level up logic and try again right now.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a
Thank God that worked. I was going to be really mad if I rage took a point in logic and then failed again.
How about gather around, kids?
Okay, kids, now gather round.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
Sometime in the past, I'm not sure where, when and where, but betrayal was involved. I fell sick and became the shadow you see now. But before that, I have reason to believe I was a police detective.
But you still are.
Thank you for your kind words, but everyone in here sees I'm a disgrace to the uniform.
What happened?
Disco happened.
I've been trying to say we need the next step in dance music to happen fast.
Shut it.
What? I have. I've said that.
Now, obviously, that might as well have been 1,000 years ago, but there's still some detective left in me.
The young speed freak is silent. He senses something is wrong.
You're sober. Was it hard for you to keep sober for this meeting?
We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Maybe not today, Egg. But you need drugs to get through the days when you're not expecting me.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
Bottom line is, I know.
What exactly is it you know?
This isn't the makings of a club, it's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
Well, it is hard to argue with that, I suppose.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
Where is his friend? Did he lose his friend?
What do you mean, friend?
The other speaker. You only have one.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems.
You have no headphones. Wouldn't a cell need her headphones to spin tape?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
I know you pawned them, likely for lab equipment and drug ingredients.
I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
That Nosafet is here for its active ingredient.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Likely pseudoephedrine, almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine.
The distilled water, cornerstone of a clean lab.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
The ether in the air, a useful solvent, good for getting acting agent out of a solution.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
There's no need for me to pile on any more, is there?
No shit.
In short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab.
That's... Come on, that's...
Against the law?
I meant to say, not true.
So what are we gonna do with you?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
You tell me what's really going on, and we'll work from there. I can be lenient.
What do you mean by lenient?
Not calling back up and hauling you all off to the pen, for starters.
Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revachol.
Because we do! We totally do!
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
Right, yeah, obviously. That's definitely what was going to happen, Andre.
To get our foot in the door.
And why did you need me?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
They're not really spooky, are they?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed.
Ah, and we come to the root of the issue.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
Well, you know, realistically, from my perspective, there's only a couple of options, because I obviously don't like the idea of just putting the drug lab in there. If we proceed with the club, they're obviously just going to do a drug lab. Let's be honest, it's not going to be a club. Even Shivers told us this, and Shivers would never lie to me. So the question mostly is, do I want to arrest them, or do I want to evict them? it's like... My main concern with arresting them is mostly what happens to Estelle, because I don't really feel like she should be involved in what happens to these three goons, you know? Does she get rolled up into the arresting thing? You know? Because I do feel like these three people kind of deserve it. Because, I mean, look, they wanted to set up a drug lab. Like, you know, it's just not very cool, you know? Like, that's not a very disco thing to do. And, like, they were obviously pretty down to either kill the people in that church, and when I turned up, have me arrest them, right? Like, what were they planning to do with those people in the church? They had no way of knowing that a cop was going to turn up, did they? You know? Like, they were presumably just going to leave them in there, weren't they? Which is extremely not disco. But I did say I can be lenient. I didn't exactly promise I'd be lenient. I don't know. I feel like I lean towards arresting them, even with the uncertainty of a cell, because from my perspective, it looks an awful lot like they were ready to murder people. Right? Like, it sure looks a lot like that to me. But also, another point. I do dislike cops and cop behavior, as any sensible citizen should. This is a difficult one. I'm not certain. I feel like I've mostly talked myself into arresting them, because it sure does seem hard to imagine this as anything other than attempted murder. Plus all the drug-related stuff on top of that. My conscience won't let me do it because I don't feel like Estelle should be involved, but it seems also inevitable like she would be. Get lost. I don't want to see you here again.
No, please!
Egghead presses stop on the tape player. In the silence, you can hear the wind howl outside.
There needs to be a club for Nordic music in there. Everyone hates each other. Everybody hates it here. It's all just drugs and we're slaves and I can't. We are running out of time.
Without his smile, Egghead looks heartbroken, and older than you thought he was.
He looks almost as old as you.
We need a win. I promise this will be a win. We won't cook speed in there. We'll do it clean. We'll do it true. We'll do it sober and real and beautiful. This will be a victory for the light.
This will be nothing.
I agree, Shivers.
You can hear the ice cracking underneath you. Outside on the pier, the last century development crumbles in the wind. A grape-shot row of fallen houses, and so does Rue de Saint-Jérôme and Main Street. The old cinema is sinking underneath Villa La Bosse.
Does anyone feel that?
What?
It wouldn't change a thing. It's too late for everything. Just pack your bags and go.
No! What does that even mean?
Fuck, man. You said you'd be lenient.
I was. I talked myself out of arresting you.
Pack it up, Egg.
I'm letting you live. You should be glad I'm not even arresting you.
He doesn't even look at you.
Well, fuck. And just like that, they are all gone. I guess I should have talked to the other people first. Especially Estelle, since I was supposed to be asking her about the crab man. But I was sort of caught up in the moment, you know? Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer to the world. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Well. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. This is from someone's home away from home, just like yours.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding
I do regret not talking to the other people before I did that. But I got caught up in the moment, you know, it was very dramatic.
barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Remember to stay hydrated. Push the Eternite over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Tight. Well, that was all around kind of a bummer, wasn't it? Not the contact knife stuff, obviously, that was great, but everything else was kind of a bummer. Got a little bit of an issue here, but that's okay.